We're back. Alright, so last week's record, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I went 9-7. So there was a few surprises that hit me last week. I was not expecting some of them, but we're going to get to them when we get to them. So we start off with Thursday night with the Browns versus the Bengals. Bengals at the Browns. Bengals. I was watching that game. I came home from work and I was watching that game. Oh no, I felt so bad for Joe Burrow. I felt so bad. He drove all the way down the field. He threw it to AJ Green, who got a touchdown but had offensive pass interference. Oh no, just for his kicker to miss. And I seen something, right? It was like the kicker, like he said he strained his left hamstring, right? Or there's something to it, but he kicked with his right foot. It didn't make sense because you could see him like grabbing his right leg, but he said it was his left leg that hurt. I don't know. I think the kicker might have just sold. He might have just sold. I don't know why. And then the Browns game, the Browns just got beat by the Ravens. I told you guys, I was like, what do you expect Cleveland to do against Baltimore? So coming from like, you know, I like the Browns, right? I want the Browns to win. I want them to succeed. But I don't think Baker Mayfield's it. Like, he's just not performing. This is his 4th year and still not doing much, right? Odell had 3 catches for 22 yards, I think. That's not good. The Cleveland Browns got to find something else. So, with this one, I'm going to actually go with Cleveland with this one. I don't know. It's a weird game. So, but I'm gonna still go Cleveland with this one. I think they'll pull through. Next up, we started with the Sunday games, and now we got the Giants at Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, he was throwing straight ducks. Like, this man was throwing straight ducks. I looked at the stat sheet, right? Trubisky after it was all said and done, this man, he didn't do bad. He went 20 for 36 for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, that's good. Like, that's some good stats. Like I said last week, when Mitchell Trubisky, he was saying, when I told you guys how good Mitchell Trubisky is against the Lions, and then he goes out and he proves me right. So, and then the Giants game, the Giants, they were looking good in the first half, right? So I remember seeing Danny Dimes just throw that deep ball to, I think it was Darius Slayton. That was a really good pass. You know, I looked at my coworker, my friend Andy. I looked at him. I was like, "Ooh, you saw the pass?" I don't think Giants can pull through with this one like they did last week. I think they're gonna fall. I got Chicago. So next up, we got LA at Philly. That Philly game, that surprised me. I was not expecting. See, Philly was up 17-0 against Washington. And then they blew it. They just blew it. Carson Wentz got sacked 8 times against Washington. And then LA, on the other hand, I had them losing to Dallas. And they shocked me. I don't think Philly is going to bounce back, at least this week, from that Washington loss. Because if they're going to do bad against that Washington front, they're going to do terrible against Aaron Donald. There's no stopping Aaron Donald. So I got LA in this one. Mainly how big of a force Aaron Donald is. Him against that Eagles O-line, this man is gonna go off. Next up, we got the Falcons against the Dallas Cowboys. I was at work watching the game. The Falcons. I don't think you understand how much of a roller coaster of emotions it was for me in the first half. Cause first drive for the Falcons, we kick the field goal. Then we go ahead and go on defense. First play on defense, Tack gets a sack. He gets a huge sack. And then next play, they let up a big pass. It was I was excited. I was at work. I was like, let's go Falcons. Let's go Falcons. But then the next play, I was just like, that's the Falcons I know. That's the Falcons. So I was upset about it. But there was plays where the Falcons, they just don't capitalize on some opportunities that they have. we have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley, up and coming star at Russell Gage. He had 114 yards. So for the fact that Atlanta had 3 receivers go over 100 yards and still lose the game, we have that many weapons and can't get a single 4th down conversion. Atlanta went for 4 fourth downs, right? Didn't get one of them, and they were all short, and we didn't capitalize on any one of those. Those are some major things that they have to work on. But Dallas, I was expecting some great things from Dallas, and it's not even like Dallas had a bad game on offense. Like, Dak threw for 266 yards, and Zeke did really good on the ground with 96 yards and a touchdown, and he had like 4.4 yards per carry. But it was just like penalties that really cost Dallas, like that one play that Jalen Ramsey had. And then, did you see how many people Aaron Donald bodied on the line on that one play? That would have had me shook. I'm gonna be honest with this one. I'll be honest, and it's not me being biased. I'm gonna go with the Falcons with this one. I think the Falcons can bounce back. I think Atlanta's gonna come in and shock some people. We actually beat Dallas. Next up, we got Carolina at Tampa. So I even said it in my last video. I was not expecting much from Tampa. I don't think they're gonna do that good this year. And Tom Brady threw 2 picks, and one of those was a pick 6. Like, Tom was not looking good. It's also a new offense. He's been in the Patriots offense for 20 years, and then to go to that, it's difficult. I can see why. You know, Tom will struggle a little bit, especially against that Saints team. That Saints team is a really hard team to beat. And then Carolina, it was actually a close game. But Josh Jacobs, he just he just ran all over the Panthers. He didn't have a really good yards per carry, but he had 3 touchdowns on the ground. That Josh Jacobs is insane. I love that man. But I think the Buccaneers are gonna bounce back with this one. I think they're gonna come back, and I think they're gonna beat the Panthers. Next up, we got the 49ers at New York. I'm not gonna say I was shocked that the 49ers lost, because I can see why they lost. Like, you have the Rookie of the Year quarterback with a future Hall of Famer guaranteed, and then DeAndre Hopkins, who's probably gonna be in the Hall of Fame. But you're still playing New York. Like, Adam Gase teams are not good. Adam Gase is not a good coach. So obviously I'm gonna go with the 49ers in this one. I think the 49ers are gonna win by a lot. I think they're gonna bounce back, and it's a good bounce back game. Next up, we got Denver at Pittsburgh. So these were the 2 Monday night games. Like, I wanted New York to win, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected them to lose, but I really did want New York to win. And then I had my lock of the week being Tennessee over Denver. That was a lot closer than I was thinking it was gonna be. They were still in position to win, but Vic Fangio just had terrible time management. I was watching that. He didn't call any timeouts when Tennessee was driving down the field. Now, Tennessee, I'm gonna get to that later. But Denver, like, they did a lot better than I thought they would. And then the Steelers, you know, Juju's touchdown, that was cool. I like the celebration. That was a celebration. Hey, they were getting jiggy. But I think this game is gonna be pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be pretty close, but I'm seeing the Steelers come out with this one. Next up, we got the Jags at Tennessee. Now, Tennessee, they didn't do that good. Derrick Henry had a really good game on the ground. Jaguars, that surprised me. That I was not expecting them to beat the Colts. So, with that being said, with the Jags, they shocking me. This is my upset of the week. Jaguars over Tennessee. I want to see Jacksonville shock some people this week. I really do. I love Derrick Henry, but I want to see the Jags win. I want to so bad. Next up, we got the Lions at Green Bay. I feel so bad for DeAndre Swift, yo. I feel so bad for him. Green Bay were just that team last week. They were just that team. Aaron Rodgers, he said, oh, you guys wanted to draft a new quarterback? I'm going to just go and throw 4 touchdowns. Now, I love Kenny Golladay. I'm a huge Kenny Golladay fan. Like, my top 3 favorite players is Julio, and then it's AJ Brown, and then it's Kenny. But I don't think he's on the right team right now. So I got Green Bay. Next up, we got Miami at Buffalo. Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick, my guy. We got to talk about the picks you're throwing. 3 picks. That wasn't okay. Miami just did not do good against the Patriots. Buffalo also did their thing against the Jets, like I said they would. So Josh Allen is coming in and being that guy for Buffalo. So I'm obviously going Buffalo in this one. Next up, we got Minnesota at Indianapolis. We gotta talk. That was bad. Everybody was expecting them to tank, and you go lose to them. Week 1, Phillip Rivers had a pretty terrible game. He threw 1 touchdown to 2 picks. The Vikings, they put up points against the Packers. They just didn't outscore the Packers. It was a shootout. I'm going to go with Minnesota on this one. Next up, we got Washington at Arizona. Washington. Hey, yo. They did their thing. They did their thing. 8 sacks. Man, Dwayne Haskins did his thing in the second half. He did his thing in the second half. And they went and balled out. As for Arizona, they did their thing too. They did their thing. They went in to Santa Clara. They went out with a W. Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, that duo, that's scary. Because you got to worry about Kyler Murray scrambling. And then you also got to worry about DeAndre Hopkins through the air. That's scary. So even though both teams did their thing, I still got Arizona. Next up, we got Baltimore at Houston. And Baltimore did their thing against Cleveland. Granted, it's Cleveland. Deshaun Watson last week, like, you're going against the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, obviously, you're gonna lose to Kansas City. I'm still gonna go with Baltimore on this one. There was one play that I saw. Lamar threw it in the back of the end zone, and Mark Andrews went out and one-handed that guy. Lamar did his thing. Next up, we got KC at LA. I don't even know why I gotta explain this one. I don't. Like, LA barely made it out against the Bengals, which they should have lost. So this is my lock of the week. We got KC winning against LA. That's my lock of the week. And next up, we got the prime time Patriots at Seattle. Now, Cam Newton. This is my bold prediction. I don't even know if you would call it bold, because if he keeps doing what he did last week, now it was against Miami, but still, Cam Newton for comeback player of the year. Who else is gonna do that over Cam? If he keeps doing what he was doing, Cam's gonna walk away with this one easy, no problems. Now Seattle bitched my Falcons. Like that one play where DK Metcalf burned Isaiah Oliver. That man was moving. Like, he's like this big, this wide, like this tall. This man was moving. But Seattle is just such a good team. Like, they were just so well coached. Like, Pete Carroll is a great coach. Now, I'm not saying Bill Belichick isn't a great coach. Bill Belichick is the greatest of all time. But I think Seattle, right now, they're just too good. Now, I do think Cam will win comeback player of the year. But this isn't the game that they win. This is not the game that they win. So, I got Seattle with this one. Next up, we got the Saints at Las Vegas. So, this is the Monday night primetime game. This also could have been my lock of the week. Because Las Vegas, they did their thing against Carolina. But you're going against the Saints. So, obviously, the Saints are going to win. The Saints are going to win to me. But these were my predictions. I'm pretty confident in this week. I'm more confident in this week than I was last week. We're going to improve our record. Make sure to comment you guys' predictions. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought I was wrong on, thought I was right on.